Kayla with For the Love of Kayla, and I am on camera today. So this season has been incredible. You guys have been subscribing. Well, I could use more, but we're working on that. You guys have been liking, giving me views, watching my videos. We're growing over here on this channel, and I'm just so grateful for you to be here and for you to be listening to my commentary on what you think that I think about Love Island. Let's get into it. So we open up, okay, with the aftermath of Olandria and Nick doing some things, okay? So a lot of people were shipping this relationship. A lot of people were like, Team Olandria, Nick, who knows? But I think I was one of those people that was kind of indifferent, right? Like, I could see that it was taking her a little bit to really open up to anyone if it wasn't Taylor. But I digress. They come from their little nest of kissing, and you can tell like they don't want to share what happened with whatever with each other, but they end up walking closer to the group. As they are walking closer to the group, you also see Taylor and Clark walk over, but before that, Olandria is like, ooh, it's a little chilly, and Nick takes the shirt off his back and gives it to Olandria, which is sweet, right? So in him doing that, Taylor walks up with Clark, and you can see he got his jacket back, and with that, you can also see there's some handshake involved, okay? And as Taylor handshakes Nick, Olandria's like, oh, I don't have a handshake. We don't have a handshake. And he's like, well, that's because no one likes you. And I'm like, what is happening? Why is this man so comfortable hurting this woman? I mean, just the stuff that he does, it's just like, why, sir? Like, why? What are you doing? And with that, it's as if these insults or these little daggers or these little signs that hits Olandria across the way just goes, like she's just dodging them. And I'm looking like, girl, what? We jump to Huda and the guy that she's talking to. I really don't know his name. I think a lot of stuff he says just is like, why are you talking? I do not be understanding what he actually says. Like, if you watch some of my older videos, you can tell, like, I be sitting there like, what? Like, what are you saying? He said, yeah, you know what I mean, because you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, type shit. Sir, you said nothing. You really didn't say anything to us, sir, but, you know, do your big one, do your thing. But he's talking to Huda, and he's addressing to Huda that, you know, you were a little aggressive during the challenges. I felt like you're dominant. You seem like a dominant person. And for me, I'm just looking like, who says this in a conversation? One highlight I could say from this back and forth is that Huda got up and left. Okay, she didn't start a hurricane. Huda got her ass up and left, which I appreciate, right? Because no one has time for her. I think she's starting to slowly discern when like this conversation isn't really serving me, and you could just see the people say you could just see the ick wash over her body of like, what? I'm good, and that's fine. I'd rather she do that than curse him out. Many conversations where Pepe's talking to his lady and getting a cute kiss from her, and noticing that she was pretty shy, but I think she's just taking her time, which is perfectly fine because there's no rush. What is the rush? Ace also has a sweet conversation with Coco. I think they're adorable, but he kind of knows where his heart is, but I think he's just being very respectful towards her. He mentions that he had a really tough life and that it's really hard for him to trust people, which you can kind of start to make the connection of why he's kind of just, his guard is usually up half the time. But I think that with Shelly, he is very comfortable with her. And I think it's beautiful to watch, honestly. It's beautiful to watch unfold. But I appreciate him being respectful to Coco and us watching that unfold. Olandria and Nick have a conversation in regards to their exchange last night. They had a really, really steamy kiss, but you start to see the residuals of is that gonna last? Or do we just close this and put a pin in it? And they end up putting a pin in it. I think Nick really just comes up with this and brings up to the point of, you know, after what happened between them, he feels like it's just not the best fit. And I think, you know, part of me was kind of like, damn, my feelings would be hurt. Wouldn't your feelings be hurt? My feelings would be like, you didn't want this chocolate? But I'm gonna edit that out. So you just gonna dump me? I think watching them kiss felt good because you could feel the chemistry bubble off the screen. Like you could feel at least it felt like sparks for us, but on the opposite end it didn't. And I think the reason why he didn't feel that way is because he probably feels the same way Jalen felt. Whereas Miss Alandria, she's just stone wall, man. I don't think anyone can really get through but Taylor. And Taylor ain't even really got through like that. Like, I'm still trying to process how her feelings for Taylor are so strong, even though they really didn't do anything. She's someone that just is really turned on by conversation and mind and comfortability. And so many days have passed. The proximity of comfortability makes her feel like, that's my man. My man, my man, my man. And I'm looking like, did I miss something? Did I miss something? I don't know. I don't know. Where they both come to the conclusion, look, you're great, but it's probably not for me. And she's like, you're great, but Taylor's my man. And I'm like, someone help this girl. Help this child, y'all. Huda and Chris talk, and this is my theory in regards to the Huda and Chris situation. I think after Huda had this conversation with him, I know that she does later on talk to Shelly and give Shelly a heads up respectfully to let her know, hey, you know, I did speak with Chris and we do, you know, we're feeling each other, just wanted to keep you in the loop. I think that she also had a conversation with Chris and let him know that Shelly knows that, you know, we spoke and that you should vote for me at the end. And I'm moving really fast, but I think that, I'm pretty sure Huda had a private conversation with Chris and told Chris, hey, vote me. Pick me towards the end, not like end, but the end of this like Casamore Villa bridge, because Shelly's gonna pick Ace. So if you pick me, we can at least last and see where this goes. So because for Chris at the very, very end to not even put Shelly's name on his board isn't like him. Isn't like him. He was 10 toes into Shelly. But for him to like legit put Huda, I'm pretty sure they had a private conversation off camera and sealed the deal. Because to me, that was like, wow, that was a very strong revelation that he ended up just putting Huda's name down, no questions asked. Alandria struts over to the couch where Taylor, Clark, and a few other people are. I'm gonna take a sip. Vitamin water. I feel like in the future I'm gonna have a sponsorship because all I drink is vitamin water. Pause. I'm gonna manifest that. Also, y'all watch my short. I manifested roses today. Those roses back there, I manifested those. Watch my short and you see how that happened. But I digress. So as Alandria struts over to the couch, okay, where Clark and Taylor are, before she even sits down, Clark is like, Alandria, hey girl, before you get comfortable, can I pull you for a chat? Alandria's like, oh, yeah, you better, because I wasn't gonna pull you. I'm like, oh my God, somebody help this chick. All right, they both sit down, beautiful. They all in black. Ace like, oh, your girls wearing black. They wear black too. Taylor's like, Mr. Goofy is like, I don't know how to handle this. I don't know what to do. Anyway, so Clark pulls Alandria. And when she pulls her, she just brings her attention. Hey, you know, I don't want to, you know, give myself a disservice. I'm going to do a disservice to myself by not actually, you know, exploring this connection that I do have with Taylor. And, you know, I'm really enjoying myself and just wanted to bring that to your attention. Here's Alandria. Yeah, you know, you guys had a physical relationship. You know, this is honestly just a test. This is a test to our relationship. I'm looking like a test to what? I was about to say a choice of words, but girl, this is an open book test to where they ain't no motherfucking study guide, okay? Do anybody else see this shit? What is happening? I do find that Clark did find offense to her being classified as a test, because she's not a test. In different scenarios, this would be considered a test, but this is not a test. This is Taylor literally drawing his line in the sand of where and who he wants to be with. But on the flip side of that, Alandria and Taylor end up having a conversation. And even just his body language, you guys, body language is everything. His body is never turned to her. His body is very much just straightforward. And she all lean to the side, fan. She's just used to the comfortability and what they used to do. But this is not love. This is not a love connection. This is familiarity. And you can grow a bond, especially if you're not like a, or just not used to being in a affectionate type of relationship where you feel like, yo, this is great. It's like, y'all have not done a thing. And it's like, in most relationships, healthy ones, wanting to be physical and touch someone is a norm, I would think. For Taylor, it is. So for her to compare it, like, you know, we've been day one, we 20 days in, woo, woo. I'm like, there's just such a deficit and a disconnect with that it's something deep that needs to be deep diving. And I might make a separate video about my baby girl, Alandria, because it's like, it's deeper than we think, because it's not clicking as to how he's the prize. Ariana comes in, introduces every single guy in the villa and who their couple is. All the men come out, boom, 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 one by one. Austin and Jaden make their arrival, come out, and everybody's like, oh, they're like, Austin, you look different. You look different. He like, you know, I'm bossed up. Everybody all tanned and glowing. It's cute. It's cute. It's cute stuff. The next couple, I think, is Pepe and his cutie. They walk out. They looking good. We have TJ and Vanna. It's like, okay, cute. Ace walks out. Boom, 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 boom. They're like, oh, she looks pretty. Coco, hey. After that, we get Taylor and Clark. They walk out, and the girl's like, who else was a couple? Who else? Are we missing someone? Are we missing someone? Then Ariana comes out. All right, you guys. As you can see, this is our final group of couples. Everyone's clutching their pearls. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Sierra's like, now this is my take, okay? I feel like Sierra, undercover, two things. I think one, there was a sign of relief. I think she was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. He didn't get picked by nobody. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, thank you. And then on the back end, she was sad. She was sad. She was hurt. Makeup all gone, girl. Tears, crying. Tears all coming down her face, okay? But I think ultimately she was relieved that he didn't have no couple, he didn't have no chick, he wasn't doing all that stuff. She was thinking the worst. Baby girl was crashing out at the slightest of like, what is going on over there? I feel a pit turn in my stomach. But she was good. She was cool. I think undercover she was relieved. Unpopular opinion. A's getting his acting on, trying to get his Emmy, Oscar. He like, yeah, that was the homie on the dead homies. And then here come Taylor. Taylor is the biggest goof of them all. He all hiding behind Clark, trying not to laugh. You'll get your old goofy head, A, out the way. Anyways, finally they can't hold on the line no longer. Ariana's like, and we have our last couple, Nick and Alandria. And they're like, yeah, what? Resurrection. Because Alandria was kicked off. Casa Amor. Because she wasn't trying to do nothing. But so both of them come out looking good. Both of them look real good together. I mean, they look good together. Why can't people ship, a good couple? Why does it have to be this whole big, y'all wrong? Okay, it didn't work. It's reality TV. There wasn't even going to be enough time to really see something substantial come from it, but it just felt good to see, like, oh, wow, chemistry. Wake us up. I have not seen any hot chemistry this entire season until we seen Alandria and Nick. It's like, okay, cheeks, she was smiling. I see all her teeth. Like, it's cool. She's not gonna be here for long because she holding on to, who knows, hope. They charge to Alandria. They charge to Nick. And they're just like, oh my God. Well, Sierra charges to Nick and it becomes this like, my man is here. Very rom-com moment. Very cute. The ladies are like, my man, my girl, she bad. She's like, I gotta fill y'all in. There's been so much stuff going on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm just sitting here like, low key, it's best you just don't even show your face, because then they wouldn't get attached to your presence, because it was best that you was gone, because now that you here, it's just awkward. But whatever, let me fast forward. Okay, all the couples, everyone is on this beautiful array of circles shaped into a beautiful heart. Okay, imagine into a heart. There's one little circle in the middle. Each person goes on there. They have their little board. They write down the person they want to be with. If it matches and they show it, they're an item. Fast forward, boom, 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 boom. The usual couples. Everyone is the same. The only thing that is a shakeup is Chris and Huda. The other shakeup was TJ and Iris. TJ ended up leaving his person. And I think the final shakeup was Amaya and Zach with a K. Amaya didn't want the other young man that was interested in her. So those were the people who were swept to the side. And the last one, Ace ended up picking Shelly, which we knew. But it was such a beautiful recoupling. I thought that was sweet. I like the fact that Coco was like, "Hi, you guys, it's okay." Like, just her grace, her beauty, the way she was able to just step aside and move on so smoothly. It was just so cute to see. Delicious. Loved it. Now, this is why you clicked on my video. Okay? This is why you came back. But before you do, I need y'all to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm just gonna sit here until y'all do it. I'm just gonna take a sip of my vitamin. This is the time that I'm gonna give you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, are we good? Y'all did that? Y'all took care of business? Okay. So, music. Dum, dum, dum. Here come Goofy Taylor. He's in the middle. Clark walks over. Alandria walks over. Boom. They standing there with their signs. Ariana's like, Taylor, you want to share? Taylor ends up sharing, you both are beautiful ladies. Both of you, I got really got strong connections with both of you. I'm like, even when you try to have your little speech moment, I know it ain't going nowhere. Just tell us you gonna pick who you gonna pick. Long story short, very drawn out. This episode was 1 hour and 24 minutes, okay? He opens it. All right, Taylor, show us the name. Clark. Clark's in her like, had a little moment and really didn't want to laugh. Then the camera pans over to Alandria like, and she's like, Ariana's like, Alandria, so what do you think about this? Something like she's not surprised. My head hurt, even my head hurt even thinking about their dynamic, but whatever. And here go Amaya. Yo, Taylor, yo, Taylor, like, I need you to reel it in. That's why your man, Zach, reeled you in. Amaya does not read the room well at all. Even though she has moments where she could pick up on social cues, she wasn't picking up what was being put down. Huda, Taylor, you're so easy. Like, no, he's not. And I saw a review from someone saying, like, this is Friendship Island, and it is. It is not making sense to me why all of you are so invested in a situation that is not beneficial towards love. There is no deep chemistry or love within Taylor and Alandria's relationship, and that's that on that. And I said exactly what I said. I'm surprised he didn't fall into the peer pressure of other people forcing him to pick Alandria just because of social value. Just because socially it makes sense for them to all be a family. This is not Family Island. This is Love Island. I'm very confused, and they all need to understand what show that they signed up for. Here you go, Ariana. All right, you guys. Now that we have all the vulnerable singles, please stand. They all stand up. Ariana's like, hey, at this time, only one Islander from each house can be saved. I'm like, yes. Hopefully they give it to the fans. Hopefully they have us choose. Please, please. But we're gonna have the Islanders. I said, oh, y'all can't be serious. So long story short, I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. They end up saving Eon because Sierra ended up picking Nick. That was the couple I forgot to say, but we knew that already. After she ran and caressed Nick like, my love, you love me. We already saw that coming, but I thought it was very cute for them to save Elon because he's very sweet, very well spoken, and he does deserve love. And I would love to see him just be at the house. He's so articulate, so sweet and kind, and I think it would be great to see that develop. It's the villa's turn to choose which lady they should save. They throwing out names. They like Coco. They like this person. They like, you know what? Who y'all choose? They go to Clark. Now y'all know who she gonna choose. You know, y'all don't really mess with her like that, but y'all know Clark not about to choose Alandria. Why would Clark choose Alandria? It doesn't make any sense. Clark like, get back to me. Y'all know, but I ain't gonna say it. Then I think they asked Taylor, but Taylor, you can see it wash over his face, just like fingers crossed. He just praying she gonna get back in. But Nick is now playing games like, you know what, because Taylor's connection is brand new, like it's pretty fast, like maybe Alandria. I'm like, oh my God, you guys give her a break. Save her, please. Like, save her from not being on the show. Let her go. Let her, send her free. Let her go. But they're not gonna do that. They end up, long story short, picking Alandria. So Alandria is locked and loaded. And I'm like, wow. We gotta sit through another episode of us trying to figure out what her mission is. But this young lady, to wrap this video up, the thing that really made me go, wow, she said, I asked Taylor, is there anything, what can I do to make you feel more comfortable or to make you feel more secure with our connection? I said, whoa. I wish there was someone, a voice of reason on that production team that could really pull her to the side and just let her know, because it's not a good look. I mean, to get to such a low point to where you're essentially begging for a man's affection when it's bright as day. It's sad. As a black woman, right? I don't like it. I don't like it. But yeah, y'all, I don't want to end on a sad note, but that's a note that just makes me feel really icky. Self-love is so important, and discernment is too. When you can't put those two together to really put yourself first in a situation. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I think we're all in places where we're working on ourselves, but I definitely came a very long way to clock that this is not healthy and it's not good. Okay. But on a brighter note, thank you for watching my video. Stay tuned. I'm gonna get more comfortable doing this stuff, being on camera and seeing you guys. Show some love, like, share, comment, subscribe. Let's play in the comments. I want to hear y'all like takes and what y'all think. And yeah, I will see y'all soon. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in a minute. Bye.
Well, it could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the booze.